Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive Knowledge Talk. Can you explain what an API is and its importance in enabling communication between different systems and applications?
Certainly. Imagine you have two friends who speak different languages. They want to have a conversation, but they can't understand each other directly. This is where you can step in as an interpreter. You understand both languages and can translate their words so they can communicate effectively. In the world of software development, an API, application programming interface, works in a similar way. It acts as an intermediary or translator between different systems and applications. It allows them to talk to each other and exchange information seamlessly, even if they are built using different technologies or programming languages. APIs are important because they enable communication and integration between different systems, such as databases, web servers, and mobile devices. They make it possible for developers to build applications that can access and use data and functionality from other applications without needing to know how those applications are implemented. This saves time and effort, as developers can leverage pre-existing functionalities instead of reinventing the wheel. APIs also help to improve efficiency and enhance the flexibility of applications by providing a standardized way to access and use data and functionality.
That's a great analogy to explain the concept of APIs. It's fascinating how APIs act as intermediaries to facilitate communication between different systems and applications. In the report, it mentions the popularity of REST APIs. Can you explain what REST API is and why it has become so popular in the development community?
Sure. REST API stands for Restadial State Transfer Application Programming Interface. It is an architectural style for designing APIs, which are ways for different software systems to communicate with each other. Think of a REST API like a waiter in a restaurant. In a restaurant, the waiter takes your order and brings food from the kitchen to your table. Similarly, a REST API takes requests from one software system, retrieves information or performs actions on a server, and sends the response back to the requesting system. REST API has become popular in the development community for a few reasons. First, it is relatively simple to design and implement, making it a good choice for developers who are new to API development. It uses standard HTTP methods like get, post, and delete to perform actions, which are familiar to developers and easy to understand. Second, REST APIs are scalable, meaning they can handle a large number of requests and be easily adapted to meet the needs of growing applications. This scalability allows developers to build robust and high-performing systems. Lastly, REST APIs have widespread adoption. Many vendors and developers use REST API as a standard for building and integrating different software systems. This means there is a lot of documentation, resources, and community support available, making it easier for developers to learn and work with REST APIs. Overall, the simplicity, scalability, and widespread adoption of REST API have made it a popular choice in the development community.
Thank you for the clear explanation of REST API and its popularity. It's interesting how its simplicity, scalability, and widespread adoption have contributed to its popularity among developers. The report also mentions the principles of REST API design, such as stateless communication and a resource-based architecture. Can you elaborate on these principles and explain why they are important in REST API design?
Certainly. The principles of REST API design are guidelines that help developers create APIs that are scalable, flexible, and easy to use. Let's take a closer look at two of these principles: stateless communication and a resource-based architecture. Stateless communication means that each request made to a REST API should be independent of any previous request. In other words, the server should not store any information about the client's previous requests. It treats each request as a new and separate transaction. This is important because it allows the API to be easily scaled and improves its performance. It also makes it easier to handle multiple client requests simultaneously without causing conflicts or confusion. To explain this to a 7-year-old, think of a customer going to a store to buy a toy. The store doesn't remember what the customer bought before, so each time the customer comes, they start fresh and help them find what they need at that moment. A resource-based architecture means that resources, such as data or services, are exposed as unique identifiers called URIs, Uniform Resource Identifiers. Each resource has a specific URI that clients can use to access it. This makes it easier for clients to discover and interact with resources. It's like each toy in a store having its own shelf with a label, so customers can easily find the toy they want to buy. This architecture also promotes a modular and organized approach to API design. It helps developers create APIs that are easy to understand and maintain, even as the API evolves over time. Both stateless communication and a resource-based architecture are important in REST API design because they contribute to the scalability, flexibility, and ease of use of the API. By following these principles, developers can create APIs that can handle a large number of requests, are adaptable to changes, and are straightforward for other developers to work with. It's like building a store with clear shelves and a system that doesn't get confused when many customers come in to buy toys.
Thank you for the detailed explanation of the principles of REST API design. The analogy of a store with clear shelves and a system that doesn't get confused when many customers come in to buy toys really helps to illustrate the importance of stateless communication and a resource-based architecture. The report also mentions the need for REST APIs in retrieving structured data from servers. Can you explain why REST APIs are well suited for retrieving structured data? What advantages do they offer in this context?
Sure. REST APIs are well suited for retrieving structured data because they provide a simple and efficient way to access and manipulate that data. When you make a request to a REST API, you specify the data you want by using specific URLs or endpoints. The server then responds with the requested data in a structured format, such as JSON or XML. The advantages of using REST APIs for retrieving structured data are 1. Simplicity. REST APIs are relatively simple to design and implement. They use standard HTTP methods like get, post, put, and delete, which are easy to understand and work with. This simplicity makes them a good choice for developers who are new to API development. 2. Scalability. REST APIs are highly scalable, meaning they can handle a large number of requests and deliver data efficiently. This makes them suitable for applications that have a growing number of users or need to handle high traffic. 3. Flexibility. REST APIs allow you to access and manipulate data in various formats, such as JSON or XML. This flexibility makes it easy to integrate with different applications and systems that may use different data formats. 4. Widespread adoption. REST APIs are widely adopted by both vendors and developers. This means there is a wealth of documentation, tools, and support available for working with REST APIs. This makes it easier for developers to find resources and collaborate with others when building applications. Overall, REST APIs offer a simple and efficient way to retrieve structured data, making them a popular choice for developers and applications that need to access and manipulate data from different sources.
Thank you for elaborating on the advantages of using REST APIs for retrieving structured data. It's impressive how REST APIs provide simplicity, scalability, flexibility, and benefit from widespread adoption, making them a popular choice for developers. In the report, it mentions FastAPI as a Python web framework that aims to provide a fast, intuitive, validated, documented, and tested unicorn API. Can you tell us more about FastAPI and how it aligns with the principles of REST API design?